sir.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is John from Valentine Gaming, and today we're going to have the second part of our Blu-ray DVD movie collection showing. And again, we're going to talk a little bit, I'm going to talk a little bit about pretty much each movie, just give you a general idea whether or not I liked it, whether or not I saw it, and kind of move on from there. So we're going to start off with the Steelbook collection. So first one up is Scarface. Really good 80s movie. I like the Steelbook ones because it's very minimalistic, which I like. And that's Scarface. I've seen that one. Next one I have not seen, Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. But again, I like the case. Next is True Grit. It is a remake of like a John Wayne film with Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges in it. I'm going to eventually again watch all these movies at some point. Minority Report with Tom Cruise in it. Again, I just think these Steelbook ones look pretty cool. Next is the Mad Max Collection Trilogy with Mel Gibson in it. So this is all of the three original movies. That's a strange. It's a strange case. It's kind of like a 10 more than anything. The first Jurassic Park. I've seen that one. I think I've seen part of 2 as well, but not. I don't think I've seen any of 3, and I haven't seen the most recent one. Big Lebowski. I love this movie. The dude abides. Very strange, very trippy in some aspects. Yep, the dude abides. You can call me the dude. It's one you should see, especially if you like goofy comedies. But it can't even do it justice in a few words. It's very, very, very strange, but awesome at the same time. Next is Serenity, which is, I forget if it's a prequel. I think it's a prequel to Firefly. I don't know if it's I think it's a prequel to Firefly, or it might be the ending of Firefly. I forget. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But if you like the Firefly series, that's one you should watch. The Hulk, this is the Edward Norton one. I figure I have a lot of, as you'll see at the end of this video, a lot of Marvel movies, and I think we should have either a Hulk video or a good Hulk video. I don't remember what that one was. I think it's just a Hulk video. Then we have the Blues Brothers. Again, I really like the case and the art style on this. They're on a mission from Gad. Really good. If you like music and you like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd at all, that's the movie for you. This one's not a Steelbook, but it's the follow-up to that with John Goodman and Dan Aykroyd in Blues Brothers 2000. Good follow-up. Not excellent, but good follow-up. Then the Back to the Future 30th Anniversary Trilogy. I love these movies. I love how they wrote them together and how they intermingle. And I just really give people credit for either having the foresight or the ability to write in pieces from other movies that have been produced. So you can kind of see the overlap. Things that didn't seem important in one film became either important or more emphasized in following films. So I really like this. Actually, we didn't watch, I know a lot of people like The Christmas Story, but every Christmas this was on, and this is what my family actually watched. So I've seen all 3 of these movies. I can't even begin to count how many times I've seen these movies. I love these movies. And Kelly hadn't watched, I think, most of them. I don't think she watched any of them, perhaps, or maybe just the first parts of the first one, but she loves it too. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Haven't seen this film. I know it's odd. It's very odd. And last but not least of these Steelbook ones, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yeah, I think you either really love this movie or really don't like it. I myself really like it. The art style is interesting. He wants to date a girl, and he has to, quote unquote, defeat her previous exes. So it's a comic book style. I mean, it came from a comic book, so it's a very comic book style led movie, which I like. Now we're going to go into the multiple movie collections that I have. This was original. I hated the packaging, so I had to take them out. But it is the 4 original. So we have the Batman, Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, which is comical, and Batman Forever. So these are the original Batman quadrilogy, but with 3 different actors as Batman. Next, we have fantastic movies, the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Obviously Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker has been widely celebrated. But I think fundamentally, Joker and Batman have always been an interesting duo in that, Joker's pushing his goal is always strange in that, not strange, but yeah, he wants to take over a city, but in actuality, a lot of times he's trying to push Batman to break his one rule of not killing anyone, and that's his goal. And even if it's killing him, he just wants him to kill someone. And, I've been playing and watching a few people play the Arkham Knight, and I won't spoil anything there either, but the comment from the Joker is, I need you and you need me to exist in a world together. And I think that's very consistent and pretty cool in terms of a storyline. So those movies are awesome. Then we have the Indiana Jones The Complete Series, or The Complete Adventures, that is, which we could just remove the 4th movie because it's absolutely garbage. And I recently heard that they are making a 5th one with Harrison Ford in it. Hopefully Shia LaBeouf isn't in it, because that was an awful. That's just a terrible movie. Next is Terminator, the anthology. This does not have Genesis. I will get that eventually, probably. But this one, I liked 1, but 2 in my mind is far more entertaining. 3 is weird with Claire Danes in it. And then this has, what else does it have? It has Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale in it, which I think it was this movie that Christian Bale had that ridiculous voice clip of him just freaking out on someone. But I don't know. I haven't seen Terminator Salvation. I think I've just seen parts of it, but it's not very good. Star Wars, I'm going to start with the better ones, 4, 5, and 6. So this is the DVD collection and Blu-ray, I believe, in this one. I think it's Blu-ray and DVD. Yep. But we recently watched it. Looks pretty good. First one, in my opinion, is pretty hard to get through. But once you get to the second half of the first one, it turns out to be better. 1, 2, and 3, I got to watch them again. I haven't seen episode 7. I haven't bought it yet or seen it. I wasn't one of those that would go to the movie theater for it. But I think we're going to do a marathon and watch all 6 and then watch the 7th one when we eventually get it. Jurassic Park collection. This has actually all 4 movies. So it has the new Jurassic World, and it has a cool listing of all 4 of them, that is, and some cool pictures. And a lot of them, I'm not going to open every one of them, but a lot of them have similar things. Like for Indiana Jones, it had the same thing. for a few of the ones that we'll see coming up. They also have that. But there's a couple 3D ones in here too, which I didn't know. I don't have any 3D stuff. I have movies that are 3D, but no movie players and no TV. So I can't really use them now, but maybe down the road if they get cheaper and better. Die Hard. This is again one that they didn't need to make a fourth one. The only reason that I like the fourth one is Timothy Olyphant is in it, and he is in a series that I love, Justified. So him being in it makes this an okay film. But the first three, the first one and the third one are the best ones. Second is kind of a write-off. But yeah, if you like any of the Die Hards, this is a pretty good collection to get all four of them together. And then one of my favorite series ever is the Bourne Trilogy. So it's kind of a Bond without rules, if that makes sense. I mean, he beats a guy with a rolled up magazine. He's just awesome. So they made 3 of them, and then Matt Damon decided he didn't want to do it anymore because I think he felt he was getting too old. So then they made Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner, and I heard, they released a trailer, and I think it's going to be out pretty soon, of another Bourne with Matt Damon in it. I think he figured that, a lot of the Bonds are pretty darn old when they make their films, so why can't he do it? I'm not sure what the motivation is, but I'm really happy that he's going to do it again. This one, if it stood alone, would be an okay film, but following the other 3, this one was bad. And Kelly looked at me when we were watching it, and she goes, "What's the point of this?" And there is really only one point. I'm not going to kind of spoil it, but it's really the driving force up until about 10 minutes before the end of the movie, and then the last 10 minutes is escaping. That's all. That's all it is. So, not very good. I can't wait for the new one, though. Can't wait. I hope my expectations aren't too high. Arguably one of the better, or like the best movie ever, which I haven't seen, is Citizen Kane. This one, again, is cool because it's got kind of a art book sort of in the center. Different pictures from the movie and the set. I have to watch this. A lot of people says it's really, really, really great, so I want to see it. Fast and Furious. This is the first 6, not the 7th one. I don't own that one yet. But if you just want a goofy movie that has unbelievable stunts that you go, there's no way that actually could take place, this is the movie for you. I remember watching almost all of them. I haven't seen the 3rd one. And I forget I've seen parts of 5. Resident Evil Collection. This is actually all 5 of the movies. I don't think they released another one. I think 5 is all they have. But yeah, I mean they're pretty good action. Like the Ultraviolet, has many of the same moves and obviously the same actress in it. It's okay. I think once you get to Apocalypse was pretty good, and then Extinction was kind of weird, and then the other ones are kind of out there as well. But I just started reading this book, and I don't know. I really despise both of the characters at this point, so I'm okay if both of them die or both of them go missing. But I haven't seen it, but I will at some point. I know the ending for people that have seen it is a little left to be desired, but the whole point of the book is one of the characters is named Amy, and her parents wrote the Amazing Amy story. So I looked at this when I bought it. I'm like, why is there a tiny book in here? Obviously, there's some reason for it. So they included that, which I thought was kind of cool. But we'll see if I like the movie after reading the book. If I like the book, I'll definitely watch the movie, but it may be just to say I did. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And it says mastered in 4K, and it's a little unclear what that actually means since it wasn't shot in 4K. I mean, I don't have anything in 4K. I don't have a 4K TV or a 4K monitor at this point. I just have 1080. But, I guess it's good to have, but I'm not sure if they just put that on there for sale's sake. I mean, it's obviously clearer, but to 4K standards, I don't think that's possible. Blade Runner, have not seen this one, but it's young Harrison Ford. And again, they have the art book sort of thing in here. Cyberpunk, very dark and gritty, futuristic sort of crime movie, I think. But can't wait to see that one. Have not seen that one either. And next up is Hunger Games. I read the books. This was okay. I didn't actually watch a lot of stuff with Jennifer Lawrence, but before this, she's pretty darn whiny in this, and I think it's because of the character, because she's supposed to be a younger girl, obviously stressed out and that sort of thing. But an okay film. Better since I watched the movie. Read the book. I think if I didn't read the book, and the book there were parts that were tough to get through, but if I didn't read the book, I don't know that I would be okay with a movie. The second one is Hunger Games Catching Fire. There was a plastic thing on the outside of this. I hated that. It was like dust covers on books. I had to get rid of it. But there's no label for what it is. But she's the girl on fire, so there it is. And just different versions of the Blu-ray and DVD in here. Third and final one of the series. Well, not final one technically, because they're coming out with the second one they came out with, but Mockingjay Part 1. This one is labeled. It has the same stupid plastic on the outside, but this one's labeled. So again, Blu-ray, DVD, and bonus extras. And now we're getting into my favorite stack. Well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but one that makes a lot of money. First is Thor. I really didn't want to watch Thor. I watched Thor after I watched the Avengers, and I don't know that I'd like Thor before watching the Avengers. Not sure. It was a pretty good movie. Natalie Portman is sometimes tough to take for me, so it was a little rough. I haven't watched the second one, Thor: The Dark World, but the problem with the Marvel movies, as many of you can agree, is at some point they turn the corner and just kind of made movies to set up sequels. That's the argument. I don't know that that's always necessarily true, but there are aspects of all right, when's the character going to show up next for the movie? That's opening a series. Like, when's Ant-Man going to show up? When's Iron Man going to show up to show the new movie off, or Captain America? And I'm kind of anticipating in that movie somebody will probably show up that you sort of saw coming. So, yeah. Let me hit this. Half of the movie was awful. I hated getting through the half of the movie because we had to wait for him to be Iron Man. But once he became Iron Man, pretty darn good. Pretty good movie. Set up really the Marvel franchise to start pumping out movies. Can't stand Gwyneth Paltrow, myself. So worst aspect of the movie. I don't know. There are just some female actresses, especially the female ones, where I just can't stand them. Julia Roberts and Gwyneth Paltrow are two of the ones that agitate me the most. Male actors too, but we were just seeing a lot of female actors that bother me. Iron Man 2, I really loved it. A lot of people argued that it was just really a setup for the Avengers and all that sort of stuff, but I thought it was a really good movie. And some cool upgrades to the suits, and you got Scarlett Johansson in there because setting up S.H.I.E.L.D. and that sort of thing. So, and there's a scene where he and now I forget his name. Darn it. Don Cheadle. That's who I was thinking of. He and Don Cheadle fight in Iron Man suits, which is really cool. To music, which is even better. And finally, Iron Man 3. I have not seen this one, but I heard some mixed reviews on it. But I like the Iron Man series, so I'm sure I'll like that one. Next is the Avengers. So I watched Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, then the Avengers, and then Thor. I think was the order. And then Captain America. It was a very strange order. I think we're going to watch it in the right order eventually here. But really good movie, mixing all the characters from the Marvel Universe. And very popular movie, as we all know at this point. I don't know how you found the video if you don't like the Avengers, pretty much, because gaming and this nerdy stuff goes hand in hand. The Avengers Age of Ultron, have not seen this one myself, but it's the follow-up to the original Avengers. More characters, more craziness. Red case, very odd. Then we have Captain America. Where'd he go? Where is he? There he is. Captain America, the first Avenger. Kind of rough movie to get through parts of it, especially the first half. But still pretty good. I mean, necessary to watch it if you like any of the Marvel stuff. But the actor that I really, really love is Tommy Lee Jones. He went to Yale and can play a variety of characters. I mean, from fugitive to U.S. Marshals to, I just saw one, I think it's called Blown Away with Jeff Bridges, where he's a Irish immigrant and he does some bad stuff, but great, great actor. Next one is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Have not seen this one yet, but I'm sure it's more of, there's Bucky. I'm sure it's more of the, not Bucky. I don't know who that is. The Winter Soldier. Duh. But I'm sure it's all the same kind of Captain America. A little bit more probably badass one in this than before, because now he's Captain America and he's been Captain America for a little bit. Let's see. Let's go. Amazing Spider-Man. Have not seen this one. I saw the ones with Tobey Maguire in it, which were mixed. But we got Emma Stone in this one as Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane in this universe. And then the second one with Jamie Foxx as, Electro. I didn't follow Spider-Man that much when I was younger, so. But at some point, I don't necessarily want to own the comics, physical copies, but I would like at least digital copies of some important comics, like Captain America Civil War, because they're making a movie about it now, but I know that was one of the more powerful comics, and there's one scene in here that's portrayed in a comic book originally that is pretty interesting. So I want to see this one, and I want to get the comic. I think they're doing another Spider-Man, and then they're changing the actor again. So I don't know what's going on there. Next is, I love this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. You got Vin Diesel as a tree. You got Bradley Cooper as a raccoon. It's a strange movie. I can't wait to see the second one when they come out with it. But very comedic. If you like music, that's also one that's a good one to watch as well. Now we have the X-Men and the Wolverine collection. So we have X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, all in this pack. I've watched parts of, I think, 1 and 2, I think. So, not a huge fan of the X-Men. Maybe I will be after watching all the movies, but. And then we have X-Men Days of Future Past. So kind of the last one, the follow-up to all of that. Another piece of plastic on here. Man, the glue on these things sometimes is ridiculous. Now I can't get it off my finger. Come on. There we go. But yeah, I'm definitely watching that. I'm way more of a fan of Batman than Superman, but Man of Steel is this movie. I haven't seen it. I remember watching the Superman. Oh, I forget what the name of it is. It's one with Kate Bosworth in it in like 2003 or 4. That was a bad movie. I like General Zod. Oh, come on, focus. That gentleman plays the main character in another movie that we'll see next video, but also plays the FBI agent in Boardwalk Empire. So I really, really love him because he just has a lot of bad luck. Sin City, comic book style noir. It's from Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez. I think the visual aspect alone is great, and all these actors and actresses that are included in there. Just if you haven't and you're not aware of it, just IMBD all of the just all the actors and actresses in it. It's great. Then Sin City: A Dame to Kill For is the follow-up. And even more actors and actresses in this one. Same comic book style, same feeling. I haven't seen this one yet. I'm excited to see it. I have Star Trek, the original, or not the original, but the first one on digital copy only. This is the second one, Star Trek Into Darkness. I haven't watched either one of them, but I will soon. And then the 3-pack of mediocrity, Daredevil, Elektra, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This was their attempt to try and jumpstart these series, but never amounted to a sequel or much fanfare. I know there are some people that were okay with Daredevil. It was an okay one. It was far better than Elektra. V for Vendetta, Watchmen, and Constantine. I've seen V for Vendetta. It's an okay movie. Natalie Portman, and about anarchy and toppling government, that sort of thing. Watchmen, I haven't seen it. I know that a lot of people that read the comics were kind of disappointed by this movie. I'm not sure if it's because they had a certain level of expectation and it didn't meet it. That's probably why. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it just as a standalone sort of thing, not reading the comics. And then Constantine with Keanu Reeves in it. I've seen parts of. It's kind of strange. All right, and the last couple is animated. So Batman, Gotham Knight. Haven't seen this one. I've only seen one of these, by the way. Maybe you should guess which one. No, I'll still tell you. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Batman Under the Red Hood with a Jonah Hex short. Batman versus Robin. And last but not least, Batman Assault on Arkham. This is the one that I watched and really liked it. It's kind of strange. I grew up, and we'll see it if I make a TV series collection thing. It won't be that long, but a collection video. But I have the Batman animated series, and that's the one that I grew up with. So that's part of the reason I love a majority of the Batman video games, is because they have the same voice actor for Batman. And it's kind of odd to have Batman have a different voice actor in these ones, but the art style and the way it's drawn is still very similar. So really, really great movie if you like Batman at all, especially if you like the Batman animated ones. So that's going to complete our second video, and we'll have a third one coming pretty soon. So again, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, add any of the movies that you have watched that you really like, or if you've seen a particular one, please, 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 and I'll put this in the comment for every one of our videos, but I really try my best not to spoil anything, but give you a take on it, whether or not it was good, whether or not it wasn't so good. But please don't spoil anything, because that really takes the fun out of watching the movies ourselves. But if you do have any recommendations, or any connections to the ones that I showed, or any other ones we might know of, please do so, because I always want to increase my watch list and my awareness of all the movies out there. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
We made it.
We? I'm the one that ran here. We
Everyone
made it.
please
What kind of
step
crap
off the
is that?
elevator and proceed